Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well today. Today we have a bit of a short upload, which I do apologize for. I accidentally went and did not collect all of the footage that I thought I had, and then I had already respec'd the build, so we're going with what I already got. But today we're specifically going to be looking at the Ash of War Bloody Slash. So the cool thing is about Bloody Slash is that while in technicality, like, it shouldn't be hitting people because it's so slow. The thing is that it does hit extremely hard, and you can put your opponents into situations where if you hit them with the right attack, Bloody Slash, and they panic roll, they will get roll caught out of the hit stun of that first attack. And you see, what's so strong about this is that despite the fact, such an example right here, you saw he panic rolled and paid dearly for it. The thing is that while really good PvP players are probably not getting hit by Bloody Slash often at all, the truth of the matter is that whether it be for better or worse, there are a lot of players out there that just don't have as much experience or just don't use their head as much, and so they will just choose to like blindly panic roll out of any type of hit stun they're put into. Or it might be someone that has a ton of poise and thinks that spamming out of hit stun is a good option. And Bloody Slash against people like that is going to be fantastic. And as an invader, a ton of the people that you fight are going to essentially just be really bad, and they will choose one of those two options more often than not. They will panic roll out of hit stun. They will R1 out of hit stun. But the thing is that when you're fighting people who make such consistently bad decisions, but they get away with it because there's multiple of them and there's one of you, the best thing you can do is use options that get rid of them immediately. And Bloody Slash is one of those set options. Now, granted, I could be upscaling Bloody Slash's damage a ton. This footage that I have is only with 40 arcane. If you've got upwards of like 60 or so, it becomes even more nuclear, okay? So its damage is borderline one-shot territory. You would think that this is the original version of the game where they did not lower the damage of Ashes of War. Its damage is so high. And also, apparently its guard breaking ability is not half bad either. I would never use it as a guard break, but that's kind of cool, I guess. Example of dumb decisions right here. Thank you so much, Blue, for that demonstration. That's fantastic of you. Thank you very much. So, to give it a little bit more, to make it a little bit more obvious what I'm talking about, essentially, what you're hoping to do is hit your opponent with a move like that, and then go for the Bloody Slash. And it essentially puts them in this situation where they should reaction roll what you do, right? Because if you don't hit Bloody Slash, then you just took 120 damage for nothing. But, like I already said, there's a lot of people that will make decisions before they react to a single thing. And in those situations, Bloody Slash is fantastic for packing someone up as quick as possible. That way you turn that 3v1 into a 2v1, or any variation of lower of that. And then another thing about Bloody Slash is that it does have hyper armor. Now technically there's two versions of Bloody Slash. If you have it on a faster weapon, it will have a faster version of the attack, which I'm not quite certain if that version has hyper armor. If it does have hyper armor, it is certainly not as much as the slow version. With my measly 40 so poise that I run, I essentially was not able to tank anything with the fast version if it is possible. If you wore a bunch of poise, then it would be. But even with my low amounts of poise, the amount of hyper armor I'm gaining from this, as you can see, I just tanked a halberd. It's still a pretty significant amount, which is very nice. And yeah, it's essentially even more so than the two-handed one, where you're probably going to trade, if anything, and like get put into hit stun, and then it's kind of reliant on if latency allows for the Bloody Slash to happen. There was a clip of that earlier where I was using the Twin Blade, which has the faster version of the Bloody Slash, and it kind of like hit him, but he R1'd out of hit stun, and if we didn't have the latency that we had, he probably would have just been able to freely mash out of hit stun. That's not really an option with these bigger weapons like Curved Greatsword and KGS, BKGS, stuff like that. Now it is worth mentioning that this works a little bit better for KGS and the Banish Knight Greatsword, because unlike the standard Greatsword moveset, the R1 of these unique R1 Greatswords is going to make it to where they follow up into the Bloody Slash a little bit faster, and that little bit faster is what's needed to be able to get that panic roll catch. And also your other option is the running R2, which definitely gives it a lot more of a use case, because otherwise the running R2 is just pretty darn bad. But yeah, there's plenty of different pseudo combos out there. Wazzeus has a fantastic video about it, which is where I personally figured out quite a few of these. I figured out the Twin Blade one on my own, but the Greatsword one I definitely got from him, so definitely go check that video out. And with that being said, once this guy's done blocking, it will be called a wrap. Have a good one, everyone.